Hello all, in this video we are going to discuss about the concept called inheritance, which is in object oriented programming language, that is the implementation in Java. So first of all, in this video we are going to discuss about the inheritance, its definitions, syntaxes and its implementation, examples, and what are the different types of the inheritances. So here basically the definition is as follows, like it is a mechanism in which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of the parent object. Say for example, we are taking two different classes in Java. So first class A called as A and second class called as B. So when two different classes are taken in Java like A and B, so when B want to take the properties, or when B wants to use the objects of A, that concept is called as inheritance. So inheritance concept is supported by Java, because it is an object oriented programming language. So here we need to know about two terminologies before going into the inheritance concept, that is subclass and superclass. So these are the two terminologies we'll be repeating overall the topic. So subclass, so for class that inherits the other class, the which as I told you in the previous example, when two different classes like A and B we have taken, so B is the class which is taking properties from A. So in that case B is called as the subclass and A is called as the superclass. So B is also called as, like subclasses is also called as the derived classes, extended classes or child classes. And superclass, that is for example A, is also known as base class and parent class. So we are giving different names and different terminologies are used, all are the same. Then syntax, coming to syntax, so here we have to use the keyword called as class. As usually we are declaring a class with the keyword class. Then subclass name extends by superclass name. So extends is the keyword where we are using or implementing in the concept of inheritance. So this keyword is mainly used or compulsorily should be used when you are implementing the concept of inheritance. So subclass name and superclass name will be user defined names, whichever names can be user use, that can be used as the subclass names and superclass names. Say for example A, B's or any some employees names or class names, any class names can be used, like main class also any class names can be used, and inside that methods and fields should be declared. So these methods and fields are also and user defined methods and fields again. So this is the basic key syntax. So again extends keyword should be used to implement the inheritance concept. Here it is an example of employee and programmer. So this is the first class and this is the second class. So first class consists of the class name called as employee, that is this is the, say for example this is the superclass. Superclass name is employee and its methods or members or the class or salary. So salary is declared as the definition type is float. So we are giving one variable here as a salary and it is defined in the form of float. So employee here is taken as the superclass and preceded by the programmer class, which is called as a subclass. So two different classes, so 1 and 2 classes, superclass and subclass. So subclass programmer is inherited by the employee superclass, and here we are creating one of the again integer value bonus. Okay, irrespective of any variables or any float values, we are here inheriting the properties of employee class in the programmer class. So for this particular program, the syntax or the implementation will be like that: class programmer extends employee class. So the same is in the example. So here is an example of simple employee class where programmer class is extended by the employee class. So initially we have declared a class called as employee. Inside that we have declared a float value called salary, which is equals to 40,000, and we have entered the class here. So the class A have been declared successfully, and class B, where inheritance concept starts from here. So class programmer, which is the subclass, extends by employee class. So employee class is the superclass. So inside of that, integer bonus is equals to 10,000. We have declared another variable. No matter the data types should not be same. any data types, any integer value or any values or any methods or anything can be taken. Only the thing is should be we have to use the extends keyword when you have to implement the other class. Then public static void main string asks programmer p is equals to new programmer. So we are creating the object for the subclass. So and then system.out.println programmer salary is p dot salary. So p dot salary is defined in employee class. So we are accessing the employee or superclass members or superclass variables using the subclass object p here. And system.out.println bonus of programmer is p dot bonus. So p is an object for programmer class, which is a subclass. So subclass object is created here. So using the subclass object we are able to access the subclass variables and also the superclass variables. This is the concept of inheritance. So class A or class employee is taken, one variable is declared here, second class is taken, another variable is declared here. So when we are normally when the procedure takes is we have to create the object for each and every particular class. But while implementing the inheritance concept, when we are extending this employee class with the programmer class, we are supposed to create only one single object, and one single object is sufficient to create the or access the members or variables of the both the classes. So this is the advantage of the inheritance concept. So using the inheritance in Java or in C++, we are restricting or we are reducing the object creations for each and every particular classes. So we are not supposed to create the object for employee class and programmer class separately. E and P, two different objects are not necessary for accessing two different variables in two different classes. So using only one single object, using the concept of extends keyword, that is inheritance, we are able to access the both the variables here. Similarly, the methods also will continue as usual. When we create the methods in first class, so second class consists of another object. So when we create the object for second class, that is the subclass object only works for both the subclass and superclasses. So when we create the object for subclass, both the subclass objects and subclass methods and superclass methods are both the accessed using only one single object. So that is the concept of inheritance, and that is also an advantage in concept of inheritance, so that we are not accessing or we are not giving or we are not creating objects for each and every particular class. Okay, so automatically the memory will also be efficiently used. So no object creation, so no memory allocation will be done. So memory will be used efficiently for the two different classes with only one single object. So and then the output of the following program will be as programmer salary is 40,000, bonus of the programmer is 10,000, which we have initialized here as 40,000 and 10,000. Both the outputs are printed here using one single object. So this works efficiently. So this is about the topic called inheritance.